The fire that happened on the 22nd of February shocked us all here in Southall.
It was a Sunday at about 9:30. The King's Hall, which used to be the Methodist Church, unfortunately caught fire. And speaking to residents today, everybody would like it returned to its former glory and rebuilt with the help of the local government, which is Ealing Council in the Town Hall, the Mayor's Office in Central London, and also the Lottery Fund. The Methodist Church, we believe, closed down perhaps around about 2006 as the roof itself was caving in, I believe, or it was unsafe.
Now, I grew up here in Southall and I used to see this lovely building every time I used to come to Southall Broadway. The inside of this church was neglected, where it was not used for the community, it wasn't used for the church, it was just sitting there doing nothing. This building's been here for over a century. We need to protect it away from the developers. We need to protect it from Ealing Council getting their hands on it. Because everyone knows, what do you think they're going to build here? Look around you.
Flats.
Flats, flats, and flats. If they had their way, that's what they would do. Because remember, they've got a quota from the Mayor of London. They have to fulfill that quota by all means necessary.
Can you please give us some background on the church and your relationship with this church?
I came to this church in the 80s when there used to be a boys' brigade and they used to have on a Sunday school.
I used to come here when I was a child, to come here on Sunday for church. While the adults were doing their communion inside the church, we used to go to the back to do what was Sunday school. And then sometimes I used to come here to the boys' brigade with my brother. Then after that, on a Saturday, used to be a tea mornings here. This is a place of worship, and this is a place where I used to come as a kid. And I'm very upset what's happened to this church. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if they can do this up to its former glory, it'll be great with the community getting together to get it done.
Look who we ran into today. And how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thanks, and it's nice to walk into you guys still on the mission to make Southall better. So it's good to bump into you, and it's a surprise. And
you know, there was this thing that the residents are always telling Ealing Council that there's not enough community spaces. Well, here you've got one. That's been derelict for so many years. So what are your thoughts in terms of for this to be turned back to its former glory, a Methodist church with a space for the community?
Well, I have a lot of friends who used to visit this church back in the days, and they were, I think they're very shocked about what's happened in regards to it closing over the many years and the fire especially. And they're hoping to bring back the old times where it could be opened again, because there's still a strong Christian community in Southall. So I think with that, really, a lot of them who are speaking to me are saying it's going to be turned into flats. I mean, that's what's sort of coming to their minds, really. There's nothing else about community spaces. I know there's lots of flat spaces, but not community spaces in Southall. And it's a shame that, we're seeing these go month by month, year by year. So we're running out, really. So when I go for walks around Southall, I'm at quite a loss to find those community spaces still. So every time you look at them, they're either flats or development or in progress, as construction sites. So I hope this does come back to its former glory. But in regards with Labour doing this, I can't really be sure with Labour in control, I don't really know at all what's going to happen with this. But I think most definitely flats.
Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
This is a historic building in Southall and a landmark which should never have got to this position to begin with. Ealing Council, if they had their way, would overlay it with 15 more floors and give it to the developers to build upon. We as the Ealing Community Independents will fight to make sure it remains a church, it's restored to its former glory, and can be given back to the community as space for everyone to use. Because it's a waste of space at the moment, being left here to rot, with a tree growing out the front, that's how bad, and a waterfall coming down the side. It's ridiculous.